Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the BB-Scho. As always, I'm your host, Beebs. I'm here with my longtime co-host, Chen. We're here for our week 16. Hard to believe we're already 16 weeks into the season, but here we are. Week 16 preview for the NFL season. But without further ado, we do need to recap our good old Packers on Monday night, getting the win against the Rams. What was your thoughts here?
Predictable. I mean, if you,
Yes,
if you
yeah.
told me the score was going to be 24-12 against a Baker Mayfield led Rams team that's been very injured going into Lambeau, didn't really shock me. Um, and even like putting up 24, like we looked fine. It's just this team has just been kind of uninspiring all year. And even though mathematically we're still in the playoff hunt, the rise of Detroit has been kind of putting a hold to that, if you will, because even the Commanders currently, even after that loss, are still sitting at a decent spot. And I just don't see the Packers catching the Giants, or like they quite literally have to get that last spot in order to get in. And I just don't think they're as good as teams in front of them. But yeah, that's just it kind of sucks even on that aspect is each win is almost depressing because we get like a
A
worse
worse
pick.
pick. Yeah.
Yeah. Like at a certain point we are in 10th spot. I'm like, top 10 draft pick, with this roster would be nice, but I know that Rams game will change that. And I guarantee we're probably gonna win one game, maybe two, just for no reason to finish the year. And we're gonna be sitting kind of in the middle and get stuck with probably a decent guy, just not the game
Well, no,
changers you
we'll
can
do
get.
something. We'll do something stupid and like beat the Vikings and the Dolphins, and then lose to the Lions in Week 18, and have everything go right and still lose one game, but have it be a heartbreaker or something. I don't know, but it's looking like that Vikings game is probably going to be a marquee matchup because the Vikings are going to be fighting for home field, assuming the Eagles, maybe lose another game or two with Hurts out. So you
Yeah,
know,
that it's very possible.
you never know.
Just hoping Detroit strolls in at like 8-8, weeks 18. But the way they've been playing, that's a tough ask. I
That
mean,
ain't gonna happen. Their
teams
schedule's
team
too
six
easy.
and one. Yeah, they're 6-1 over their past 7 games.
No,
So
I gotta be honest. They're like they're like a fourth or fifth best team in the NFC for me right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, the way they've been playing, they're gonna probably get in at that last wild card spot, but I think they're the most dangerous team,
I would
if that
take the
makes sense.
Eagles,
I would say
Vikings,
you can even keep them at 4
Niners.
potentially.
Eagles, Vikings, Niners are the three teams that I would for sure take before Detroit in the NFC.
Yeah, because Cowboys are just as cursed as the
I
Lions
yeah,
lately. I mean,
I don't know if I'd take the Cowboys. I'm not gonna lie. The way they've been playing, the well, actually both of them have been playing. It's very interesting. But when it comes to Monday
yeah,
nights, to wrap us up, this wasn't a very long segment because it was a pretty pitiful Monday night matchup. I'm sure when they scheduled it at the start of the year, they were like, "Oh, this is going to be great, NFC powerhouses," and that is just not how the year is shaken out.
yeah. And even as a Packer fan, I was just not very entertained. Maybe that's just my more pessimistic view of the team, towards this end of the season. But the game was just not
I'm
fun
not getting my hopes
in
up.
my eyes.
I won't get my hopes up at all for the Packers playoff chances unless they beat Miami this week. That's when I would start to say I could see
Depending what
us.
everybody else does.
Yeah, we
I mean,
still
if
need a
Detroit wins
miracle,
again,
but
it's like I don't know.
I do feel like ever since the question with the Packers, and I'm not the Packers fans aren't the only ones asking this is, what would this team have looked like if Christian Watson had been healthy all year? And it's a real question because they really have looked way better offensively since the return of Christian Watson. And then now that Romeo Dobbs is back. So that dysfunction that they had to start the year, I think has been leveled off. It's just a matter of playing catch up now, I think. And, they're no world beater in the NFC, but they're not I think they are a playoff team, probably a playoff loser, but they are a playoff team caliber. I guess.
No, yeah,
The last 6 weeks. They played the
they got the
Eagles tough.
talent too.
Yeah, they're just a year or two away from Watson and Dobbs developing, which that takes time, man. But when you got a 39-year-old quarterback, I don't know, or however old he is,
Yeah, it's not ideal.
but yeah, that's. We already talked about the Sunday night game between Commanders and Giants. Commanders getting screwed by the refs. But solid win for the Packers on Monday night. That brings your week to 12-4. This is a big week. Let me tell you, this is a
Wow.
big week. 12-4 for you and 7-9 for me. A 5-game swing in week 15, and I'm gonna have to play catch up the rest of the way to go. So that puts me at 126-98, and you at 130-94. So it's gonna be
Okay. Yeah.
it's going to take some performances, I think, for me to make up that ground in 3 weeks. But we'll see. So I'm gonna have to be strategic in who I pick, take risks on teams maybe I don't like, just to be able to make up the ground. But the race is heating up as the season progresses. As for Fantasy Frenzy, which we can dive into next to kick us off before we get to our picks. But I'm 4-7. You're 7-4. I have 1,619 total points. You've got 1,602. And as you guys can tell, we've only done it 11 times. So we started late, and then we did miss one week around Thanksgiving because we forgot to draft before the Thanksgiving days. So doesn't matter. Doesn't change the the wins, the losses, or anything like that. But as for last week's Fantasy Frenzy, and those of you who are new, every week for Fantasy Frenzy, we pick a team, and then anybody who was picked last week is unavailable to pick this week. And then the loser gets the first overall pick. So last week, I had Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders, Josh Jacobs, Tyreek Hill, Justin Jefferson, George Kittle, Devontae Adams, Jason Myers in the KC defense. You had Josh Allen, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, Chris Godwin, A.J. Brown, Travis Kelsey, Jonathan Taylor, Cairo Santos, and the Denver defense. And you did end up winning 163-147. And I'm pulling up my notes here because I was really dead set on picking Derrick Henry this week because his matchup is incredible, and I realized he wasn't available, so I was sad. But I do have the first pick, which I got to be honest, and maybe you can concur before we kick this off. It's just not it's not a lot out there this week, man. There's
It's
nothing
interesting.
there's nothing
It's
that I'm
definitely
looking at where
interesting.
I'm like, oh, that's a dead set number one overall pick right there. But um, I think with my first pick, I'm gonna have to go with Stephon Diggs. Just looking for star receivers. Those usually carry you to victory in this. So that's gonna be my first overall pick today is Diggs, just because he's been solid.
All right. Yeah, yeah, and like you said, in terms of receivers, we definitely used up a good amount of them last week. I'm gonna go with Christian McCaffrey. I almost did something out of the ordinary, but I'm gonna go with Christian McCaffrey here. I think he got snubbed from the Pro Bowl. That's a conversation for a different day. But he's
Wait a
quietly been,
second. Did I miss that headline?
yeah, the NFC running backs were it's funny. I don't even remember who the top guy was. I just know Tony Pollard and Miles Sanders were in over McCaffrey.
We can we
So I
can
was very confused.
we can do a quick reaction to the Pro Bowl teams after our draft. Go off script a little bit, but um, so Christian McCaffrey, that's an all time snub. Holy
Yeah,
cow!
it didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Um,
Was
I
it
I
a
know they play the
draft?
Commanders,
Like
but
was it a Peyton Manning, Eli Manning
no,
draft?
no. It was just the fan voting mixed in with a lot. I guess the NFL voting was like heavily swayed with like player voting in there as well.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to follow up Stephon Diggs with DK Metcalf. He's got a prime matchup against a weak Kansas City secondary this week. He's been kind of on a roll lately, even though their offense has been starting to slow down. Anytime a star receiver plays Kansas City, it's tough for me not to take him. So DK Metcalf is my next pick.
All right, and yeah, this is where I go off script a little bit, because I am gonna just double down. And well, I don't like the fact that Hurts and Josh Allen weren't on the board. Um, Fields has got a tough matchup against the Bills, so I'm actually gonna take Mahomes right here. I
That's
think he's going to go for 30. If he doesn't, then I just missed on this pick. I'm doing it solely
no, that's a good
because
pick. He's
they're
the only
playing
good
the sea
quarterback.
and they're playing the Seahawks.
Yeah,
Like, and that is a team that defensively has given up multiple 40-point games this year. One of them being to the Raiders. So I'm liking what I'm seeing of the Chiefs offense all year. And I like that they have been, going against a pretty bad defense. Just, what Seattle's got. I think that's probably why they're going to miss, honestly, is that defense is not going to be able to keep it together here in December.
that's a pretty good pick. I'm torn between two guys for my flex spot here, or I'm taking a third receiver. So
Interesting.
I'm going to end up going for the star power. I'm going to take Jamar Chase. I don't like his matchup against the New England defense, but he doesn't matter who he plays. He's got a high floor. So Jamar Chase, I don't really need to. I mean, it's Jamar Chase, man. I don't need to back up that with some crazy statistical analysis. So
No, he's just very good at football. I'll take Dalvin Cook here. Just pile on the running backs on top of Mahomes. Hopefully, I can get some decent points out of my receivers, which with what is left. But yeah, kick it to you.
interesting. That is very interesting. I'm gonna do something a little offbeat here. I don't know if I've ever picked this guy, but I'm gonna take Aaron Jones. He's quietly been pretty solid this year and fairly consistent, and
Hmm.
decent matchup against Miami. They're 23rd against running backs in fantasy. So I do want to just verify that he's going to play. So before we move on, he was limited in practice today. You know what? You know what? All right, that's enough for me at this point. I can't take those risks. So I'll flip it to Ramondre Stevenson. So sorry if you were taking
Hmm.
Stevenson, but with Jones on
No, he's
Jones
not on my board.
questionable. So Ramondre Stevenson has been solid all year, and I'm taking him.
All right. Flex spot. That's where really I'm looking. Receivers I'll fill out eventually. I'll take James Conner. Just I don't really like the upside of Barkley. The Giants don't score a lot of points as a team, and on a good day lately, it feels like he got 16 or so out of Barkley. Um, James Conner has just typically been a goal line vulture, and with Kyler Murray out, this team is going to run the ball a lot more. They don't have a whole lot of depth behind him, so I'm just predicting a big day, and like he's a solid flex spot for me.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. So you're locked out of running back, so I can talk out loud. I'm torn between Kamara and Barkley, and I did just come across another guy that I think I might end up taking. Kamara has just been hit or miss all year. You know, I could get a real dud out of him, and Barkley's floor is, well, I mean, pretty high, but you are right. His ceiling has seemed to
Not as high as
dwindle
you would think.
as the
Yeah.
year has gone on. He did have 23 last week, but you know what? He is playing Minnesota too. Um, yeah, you know, I'll take. Well, actually, strategy wise, let me give myself more time to think about this. I'm going to do something crazy here. Let me double check this is the right choice because, and I do apologize, but yeah, I guess I gotta do this. I'm gonna take Mark Andrews. He's got the best tight end matchup of the week. And I know Lamar's not playing, but this is so risky, man.
Go
I,
for it.
I just, I don't know
There's
what to do, man. I really, this guy, I don't know. I'm just going to take him. You move on. You know what? I'm not going to talk myself out of this.
yeah, I'll wait on the tight end thing here. I'll get Amon-Ra St. Brown. Uh
Yeah, that's who I was trying to decide between Chase and
yeah,
St.
that's
Brown.
I just like the volume and I just the Lions have been playing really well as of late. Sometimes he benefits, sometimes doesn't, but I kind of need a boom or bust at the receiver spot here. Hopefully one of them goes off.
So I'm gonna do something really just crazy, and it might end up coming back to haunt me. It really might. But last week I streamed this guy in a playoff matchup and won because of it. And he's got another solid matchup this week against Seattle, and he's been rock solid ever since Clyde Edwards-Helaire went on IR. I'm gonna take Jerick McKinnon, back-to-back 30-point
Wow.
weeks. Seattle's 31st against running backs. This is big risk, big reward, but yeah, I like him better than Alvin Kamara and Saquon this week, which is crazy to say, but I think you could hear me on that a little bit. You know?
I think he has a higher ceiling in terms of floor. You might get literally nothing, but
That is
yeah,
true.
I would agree that he's been pretty dynamic as of late. The last receiver of the draft, and this is where I'm not going to go all in as much as I love DeAndre Hopkins as a guy and player. I don't trust Colt McCoy to get him the ball. And I don't even actually know if he's playing. I think he got hurt. It might be
Oh,
Trace
Trace
McSorley or
McSorley starting. So, what do you
yeah,
mean you
see,
don't
so
trust Trace McSorley? Throws it on a
not to get
dime
not
while
to
he's
get
wearing number 9.
he's not getting it to Hopkins as consistently. Oh, he might run for a lot, and then throw it on a dime to like
I might just
their
start.
tight
I
end.
might just draft Trace McSorley now.
Hey, yeah, if that's the route you want to take, I'm gonna go with
I'm not
Keenan Allen.
stopping.
I think he's really just the Amon-Ra St. Brown type of pick with he's the number one guy in a pretty good offense. Chargers have been picking it up lately, and he's just been more and more healthy as of late. So until he gets hurt, I'll take him.
That's
Not
yeah,
happy about it.
that's a pretty safe pick. I'm gonna
It's
take the
safe,
San.
yeah.
I'm gonna take the San Francisco defense. Don't really need to preface this at all. They're that good. So, yeah.
Fair, very fair. Uh, Titans are playing Texans this week. That's why they're getting my defensive
Yeah.
nod.
Yeah, that was the other one I wrote down. So,
Nice.
Daniel Carlson, just because I love him. That's really it. He's been solid all year for me. So why?
Yeah.
Why deter now?
Yeah, I know, and
Available,
that
right?
leaves Justin Tucker on the board, so I'll
Yeah.
take him. It's Tyler Huntley as slept on as I think he could be, especially with the team that does not have a lot of good weapons. They'll kick a lot of field goals.
And then
That's a given.
I just want to double check, make sure this is the best option. It's between Geno Smith and Justin Fields, but I think Fields. I gotta take him, man. It's he's that good. He's been that good. So Justin Fields to close out my
Okay.
team.
Yeah. See if
That's
the Bills, man. That's a
is it
tough
in
defense.
Buffalo?
It's in Chicago, but it's gonna be freezing.
Ah,
I don't
but it won't
really.
be snowing.
We'll see. Yeah, I guess.
It
Yeah, I
might
guess
be
we'll see.
actually. It might
Never
be snowing.
know with Chicago,
It's gonna be
but
snowing across half the country this week, so I don't really, know if
yeah,
it
I don't got to
matters
work. I don't have to work tomorrow.
unless I'm taking
But
Tua.
it's no, yeah, it's I'm a Milwaukee man and we're getting bombed here. But nonetheless, solid draft. I think there's going to be some
You still need a
zeros.
tight end, my guy.
I did not grab. Well, okay.
You have the
See
last
that
pick.
that's crazy. Yeah. TJ Hawkinson. I
Yeah,
just
I already am
had him
writing him
slotted
down.
in for some reason, but he's just the most dynamic in terms of what's available. Um, and the Vikings, they got a big
Yeah,
matchup this week.
safe pick,
Yeah.
safe pick, safe pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we go a little off script here, but to recap the teams, I have Fields, Stevenson, McKinnon, Diggs, Metcalf, Andrews, Chase, Carlson, San Fran. You've got Mahomes, McCaffrey, Cook, St. Brown, Keenan Allen, TJ Hockenson, James Conner, Justin Tucker, and the Titans defense. But before we dive into our Week 16 picks, I do want to do a quick little reaction here. So the AFC Pro Bowlers.
Mm-hmm.
Just let me know if you see anybody missing. I'm just reading this for the first time. So Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Chubb, Jacobs, Henry, Patrick Ricard as a fullback, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams, Jamar Chase, Travis Kelsey, and Mark Andrews, Laramie Tunsil, Teron Armstead, Orlando Brown, Joel Batonio, Quentin Nelson, Joe Tooney, Creed Humphrey, Mitch Morse, Miles Garrett, Max Crosby, Trey Hendrickson, Chris Jones, Quinton Williams. Glad he got the nod. Jeffrey Simmons had a good year. Matt Judon, obviously, Khalil Mack, TJ Watt, which is kind of crazy because he missed 12 weeks. Roquan Smith, CJ Mosley. Wow. Sauce Gardner, glad he got the nod. Pat Surtain, glad he got the nod. Xavier Howard, Marlon Humphrey. I might be able to find a better option than that. No Jesse Bates. Wow. Minka Fitzpatrick, Derwin James, Jordan Poyer, some specialists. And then, yeah, so I can't believe no McCaffrey. That seems like the. Oh, and
Yeah,
no
I don't know
Tua.
if TJ Watt should be there.
No Tua.
What were the AFC QBs though?
Mahomes, Allen, and
Burrow.
Herbert, I think.
Herbert. Yeah, I mean, no offense to Tua, but he doesn't make that list.
Tua did have the most fan votes.
Yeah, shows you how much consideration they had that. I think Waddle actually should have got in
over Devontae, Chase.
I think over Chase. I saw his head-to-head numbers. He was far and away better.
That is true. Chase did miss
more touchdowns.
Chase did miss a lot of years. So Burrow,
same with
TJ
Watt. TJ Watt only has 4 sacks on the season.
TJ Watt getting in is dumb. We're all agreeing there. No Austin Eckler.
His yards per touch has been kind of dead.
Bro, he has like 18 touchdowns.
Yeah, I would have to check that. I think he's not averaging a lot like per touch. I mean, the volume's there, but like
he's literally gonna break the receptions record for running backs, and he's not gonna make the Pro Bowl.
Well, it depends. I mean, there's volume.
Tony Pollard and Miles Sanders beat out Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
Miles Sanders is in a Pro Bowl.
Even Tony Pollard. I mean, Tony Pollard, I guess, you know.
Terry McLaurin is in there?
He was really good this year.
No, he wasn't better than Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Given the circumstances, got Taylor Heineke and Wentz in and out throughout the year. I think it's
Jalen Waddle, Alex Highsmith. Yeah, that's a little interesting. I don't really have a case to make for Tua over Burrow, Allen, Mahomes. So I could sit here and slander Miles Sanders and Tony Pollard all day, but I'd be talking to a wall that's echoing everything back to me. There's really I don't have much debate here with some of these names, right? Like, this is interesting though. I will say that Jalen Hurts did make it. Jason Kelsey made it. AJ Brown, a lot of Eagles. Kirk Cousins and Geno Smith. Are there no better quarterbacks in the NFC than Hurts, Smith, and Cousins?
When you look, I can't think of Goff.
But
you mean Geno Smith is actually his reputation is pretty good. I mean, his numbers are pretty hard to argue against, and it's not like Seattle was really trying to win this year. I'm not like completely crazy upset. I just think like the running backs in the NFC were mismanaged.
Pollard and Sanders,
injured players getting in is
Pollard and Sanders seem like the two guys that what are they doing there over Christian McCaffrey and somebody else? You know, I don't know.
To see like Dalvin Cook's numbers. I know Kamara's were down this year. Saquon not getting in.
He's in.
That's right. He's the top one.
Yeah, he's the one that I feel like actually deserves to be there.
Yeah,
in the NFC.
Right. It's like Saquon, CMC, and then
so it's Jefferson
third, but it's interesting.
It's Jefferson, Brown, Lamb, Terry McLaurin. I don't know about that, man. I feel like McLaurin is a weak. I could find a better NFC receiver. Let me think about this.
Maybe
DK.
And Lockett split a lot of that. I don't really mind the McLaurin one. I think he's.
I just feel like
we just don't like to respect the Commanders.
First off, I love respecting the Commanders. Come on now. Come on now. I've been saying that they were going to beat the Giants out for like a month now, and it's going to happen.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was the one team from the NFC East that didn't have a Pro Bowl receiver, which is funny.
who?
The Giants.
Well, it's because they don't have any receivers on their team. Who are we going to put out there? Kenny Galladay? McLaurin's got more drops than he has snaps.
Yeah, this is very true.
Nick Bosa, is he right now? He's my defensive player of the year. Do you have a case against that? Um,
No.
Micah Parsons, Darius Smith, Hassan Reddick. I would have to watch the film.
That might just be some
Darius,
Cowboy or Eagles, just hype.
yeah, Darius Slay. There are a lot of Eagles here because Slay's on here too. Tariq Woolen is having a good year. Jair Alexander absolutely does not deserve to be in the Pro Bowl this year. He's been terrible. I could find a better cornerback than Tariq or than Jair Alexander. The other three are fine. Woolen, Diggs, and Slay, but as a Packers fan, he does not deserve that.
No, he's a very risky guy.
Quandre Diggs, Buda Baker. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You just listen to my, literal live reaction. I hadn't had a chance to look at it yet, so that's literally my live reaction. My biggest takeaway is Sanders and McLaurin and no CMC and Pollard. I'm a little iffy about, but everybody else seems fair. Tua's not going to get in over Burrow, Allen, and Mahomes or whoever the other.
No.
Did Herbert get in?
It was Herbert or Burrow. Either way, it's like I'm not putting Tua there.
No. I'm be interested. Let me check this out. Where are the Chargers at? Yeah, no, it was Burrow. I think that's fair enough. I mean, they're just a better team, so he gets the nod. Burrow over Herbert, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that concludes that. We're gonna dive into our Week 16 picks now. So that was a quick off the script live reaction, a couple minutes, talk about the Pro Bowl. Honestly, at this point, the Pro Bowl, I don't even watch it, so I don't know why I care because it's so boring. I know they're trying something new this year, but
yeah, it's dumb.
It's dumb. Yeah. But we'll start with Thursday night. We're starting tonight. Jaguars at Jets. I already made my pick on Monday. If you recall, I picked the Jaguars to win this game, and I'm sticking to my word. But it's in New York, so I wouldn't be shocked if you went with the Jets here.
Yeah, I just don't like Zach Wilson starting.
Is it Zach Wilson again?
Yeah, I don't believe Mike White was cleared. And even then, it's going to be a short week. I get that the home team's usually good at home, but the Jets have been going in the wrong direction while the Jags have been going in the right one. And I think the reality is probably setting in for the Jets. I don't know if they're going to get into the playoffs. It's going to be close. And yeah, I think the Jags really have a shot. I mean, Tannehill's done for the year now, too. Like the Titans have been falling.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm behind. Sorry, guys. I'm behind on the headlines. I've been moving I'm in the holiday spirit, but
yeah. So Tannehill he's a guy that just provides consistency. And Malik Willis has not been spectacular this year. I would not be shocked if this team lost out the rest of their games. So that makes it a lot easier for the Jags. I think they're going to play with a lot of fire tonight. So I'm going to take the Jags.
Safe pick. Actually, the way you described it is safe, but good pick. I said it 3 weeks ago. I think the Jags are going to win the division. So makes me happy to see things coming true. But all right, Falcons going into Baltimore on Saturday. I believe it's on Saturday, but Falcons going into Baltimore. No Lamar Jackson. I'm on the fence with this one, so I'm going to make you go first.
I'm not actually. I think it's the Ravens all the way.
Really?
I think they've been winning games. Tyler Huntley. It's not been pretty, but it's really solidified my faith in their defense going forward. And Falcons have Desmond Ridder currently starting for them. It's gonna be his second career start. Didn't see a whole lot of great things from him last week either. So I'm just way more confident right now in the Ravens.
And I was hoping
Falcons have been losing a lot of games.
I
just don't like him lately, man.
It's just hard for me to pick on Ridder. To pick with Ridder right now, It feels like they've kind of just said we're going to give him the last couple of weeks because we don't want to make the playoffs. Like it almost
Yeah.
feels like they're like, yeah, we're not, we want to improve our roster more. So um, I have to roll with the Ravens just because they seem to be more. The Falcons are mathematically in a contention spot, but the Ravens are going to care more about this game. It feels like, if that makes sense.
No, that
Um,
tracks.
but Lions going into Carolina, I'm taking the hottest team in football. I no hesitation. I'm assuming you are too. But if you want to make a case for Carolina division, they went out, they win the division, I believe.
Yeah, not loving the idea. I'm just not. Sam Darnold is better than what they've had, but that doesn't make him great. I'm gonna go with the Lions.
Solid pick. Solid pick. All right, Seahawks at Chiefs. I'm not picking against the Chiefs in Arrowhead. I don't care who it is. Didn't think so.
No.
It's just like another case. The Seahawks just feel like another case of getting cold at the wrong time. They've started to cool off, and you don't want that. All right,
Jets of the NFC.
here's our first interesting one of the day, in my opinion. Saints at Browns, two mediocre teams. One I think is mathematically out of contention. One is still in very good contention for their division. I'm taking the Saints. I just have not seen it out of the Browns. I know they did get the win last week, but I think the Saints need this.
Saints probably do need it. I just don't think they're going to get it. They've.
Yeah.
I was riding them too long for most of the season. I'm not taking that bait anymore. And the Browns, they got that win last week. Yeah, I think they should only get better with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, this feels like an
It
upset
shouldn't
pick
get
for me.
worse.
I'll say that out loud.
Maybe.
It's one of those ones where I feel like I'm down. I got to take a risk. So I won't be taking a risk on Texans Titans, despite Ryan Tannehill being injured. I didn't know it was for the rest of the year, but I knew he was out for this. And Derrick Henry is going to rush for 275 yards. So unless you want to, they've played the couple teams close. Oh my god.
This is my upset pick of the week.
Oh my god.
Not a one game difference. This team only has one win. They're going to get number 2. Malik Willis is going to struggle. If this team has been able to slip up the Cowboys and Chiefs offense, you best believe they're going to slip up a one-dimensional Titans offense. Derrick Henry's starting to look like Saquon slowly each week. Calling it now. Texans going to get their second win in the NFL season.
All right, I'll take the free. I'll take the freebie on that one.
I just disagree, man.
Go ahead and quote it. I just disagree. Derrick Henry has dominated this division for 4 years, 5 years running. Like I see no reason to pick against that trend, but I'm not complaining. So we're moving on before I talk you out of it.
There's got to be a day where that doesn't happen, and I think it'll be that day.
All right. Bengals at Patriots. I'm rolling with the second hottest team in football, I guess. They're right up there with. And look, the Patriots are coming off of a tragic loss at the hands of Jacoby Myers. Yeah, I could make the case for the Patriots here. I actually do like their squad, but after that loss last week, I think that things start to spiral.
Right. You can always make the case for the Patriots. I feel like just having Bill Belichick, they're kind of a team. If it's a matchup I'm not sure, I'll take them. But yeah, that loss was horrendous. I don't know if you can come back from that. Wow. And even seeing what the Bengals did to Tom Brady last week, I actually for a moment was like, all right, the Buccaneers are going to get like a much needed win here. The Bengals finally end that, hot streak, and they just went crazy. So I don't think the Patriots are going to be the team that trips them up. They don't have offensive firepower. They don't know what they're doing sometimes out there. So go with the Bengals.
All right. Giants going into Minnesota.
Yeah, and this one might be an upset pick too because it's going into Minnesota. I'm going to take the Giants. I think the Vikings had a bit of a scare last week. I know it was like the greatest upset, but you got down in that position. And look, the Giants, they don't score a lot of points, but they haven't really had any bad games this year. Maybe a couple, like one or two, but they're close in every single one. And Minnesota's got a tendency to let teams hang around. Most of their wins have been close, not pretty. I think they get caught here. I think it's probably a last second, Giants field goal and Vikings go down. They are
No,
not an 11-3
I'll
team in
take
my
the
eyes.
Vikings at home, man. They're coming off of an historic performance against a better, oh, not a better, I was sorry, against a worse team. But they've been solid at home all year. I know I have questions about their defense, but I also have questions. My questions about their defense reside in their secondary, and that is something that the Giants do not threaten in my eyes. So while I do believe Saquon will have a pretty decent day, um, I got to roll with the 11-3 team here, and I got to stick to my guns. I've been calling the Giants frauds all season, so
That's
even when
fair.
they were 6-1, so I'm a man of my word. So Vikings, it is. Bills at Bears. What are your thoughts here? I'm rolling with the Bills. I really no hesitation. I'm sorry. The Bears
Yeah,
are not
even in
incentivized.
Chicago, that's basically Buffalo's second home at this point in the year. I mean, that's no different to the environment they'd be playing in at home. So going with Buffalo, no point in the Bears winning this one. They shouldn't win. They got a great pick in the draft right now.
Yeah. All right. Commanders at 49ers. I'm rolling with the Niners. I see no reason to pick against them for the rest of the season. I'm just going to be
It's
brutally
tough.
honest.
It's really tough to not. That's they're kind of up there with the Chiefs right now for me.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard for
I
me to
would
pick
agree.
against them.
It's been hard for me to pick against the Eagles all year, but now they got Gardner Minshew at the helm. I want to hear your thoughts. Eagles going into Dallas.
Wouldn't be shocked to be a typical like Cowboys collapse, at home in prime time against a backup Gardner Minshew. Would be a great storyline, but the Eagles won this first matchup not by a lot with the Cowboys and when they had Cooper Rush. Now they got Dak back, and I've been the biggest fan of Dak, but that team can put up points. That's just the bottom line. Not having Jalen Hurts in there and his running ability, it's not that Minshew is a statue, but he's definitely not Jalen Hurts, and so they got a different offense dynamic, and that brings me to just like when you look at the Ravens, like Tyler Huntley is not a Lamar Jackson clone, but similar play style, like run first almost quarterback. Um, that's why I was confused at why the Eagles didn't go and get like a Trace McSorley, like a guy that I'm not saying Minshew's bad, but now your offense is going to look different. I just don't like it against the Cowboys defense. Micah Parsons should have a day.
So here's my thoughts here. I agree with everything you said. My instinct is to go with the Cowboys. However,
So classic of them
oftentimes,
not to.
there's the cliche meme, yes, that the Cowboys are going to find a way to lose this game. But
Yeah.
I also want to say that oftentimes when a formidable backup like Gardner Minshew comes in, or Jimmy Garoppolo or stuff like that, that first week, especially because it's Gardner Minshew, he's really never played for Philly. They're not going to have any film, on this new style. And you're right, it's going to be different. The Cowboys aren't going to know what to expect for the first half, and they might be able to adjust at halftime and still win the game. But in the same way that I love to pick with interim head coaches in their first game, backup quarterbacks are not as dominant, but when it's a good backup quarterback, like I feel about Gardner Minshew, who has starting experience, it's not like, Colt McCoy, like we know who he is, right? He's been around a long time. And it's a good team too, right? If it's, Colt McCoy's on a terrible team. So for
Yeah.
that reason, I'm rolling with the Eagles, man. I just feel like their team
Okay.
is good in all positions. This is a division matchup. They're mad about Micah Parsons talking crap. They could very easily lose this game. But I will pick the Eagles the next two times that the Cowboys play them. And that includes the playoffs when they come around. So this could
Okay.
be a risk, but I need to take them. So I'm going with the Eagles.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
Raiders
can't argue with
Steelers.
that.
To move it on, we're going Raiders in Pittsburgh. Moving forward, I'm going to be honest
Yeah.
here. This is I could go either way with this one, man.
I could. I just have not loved the Steelers are. When I say uninspiring teams, they're like very uninspiring. Their offense is so bad. But like I just physically can't watch it. Um, I'm taking the Raiders. I
I
think if they
that's the
get to
way
24, they're fine.
that's the way I lean. The Raiders still have something to play for. I think at this point they are not mathematically eliminated, and they're coming off of getting a miraculous win. That they
Right.
probably would have lost that game, and their season would have been over. So there might be a little bit of second breath, if that makes sense. After losing that game 2 weeks ago, they shouldn't have. I forget who it was off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll with the Raiders. And then that takes us to Packers Dolphins. You guys know me; I can't pick the Packers. They're the worst team in the league. So I'm picking the Dolphins, and I'm assuming you're picking the Packers. You're not doing anything crazy.
Nope.
Yep, yep, yep.
Just have to.
And then that takes us to Broncos Rams, and for the same reasons last week, I think the Broncos get a win here. I think that defense wins championships, and that defense is playing a horrible offense, and they might outscore them. So Broncos.
Yeah. And that, defense isn't going to win that team championships sitting at
Well,
4-10.
yeah.
But I'll still take the Broncos. I would agree that Baker Mayfield putting up 12 against the Packers. Who knows what he's going to do against the Broncos, who are a very good team defensively. Yeah, hate the Rams right now. They're on like the no pick
I'm not.
list.
There's no reason. Yeah, they're on the no
There's
pick
no
list
need. Yeah, no
ever,
need.
ever again. All right, Sunday Night Football. Brady and the Kyler-less Cardinals in Arizona. Look, the Bucks' schedule to quite literally limp into the playoffs this year is really easy, and this is one of those
Yeah.
examples. So I'm taking the Bucks.
I'd have to agree. It's not that the Buccaneers are this great team. They're just playing a team that's very injured and very inconsistent.
And then Monday night to close us out, Chargers at Colts. I'm taking the Chargers. They're actually on a little bit of a hot streak, surprisingly, and the Colts are not going to
Mm-hmm.
win this game after losing what happened last week.
Right. I think the Chargers are finally turning a corner and
Finally
got
healthy.
Keenan Allen and right. Yeah, I got Keenan Allen for fantasy frenzy too. So
Yeah.
all in on the Chargers.
So that leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4 different picks on the week.
Okay.
I'm down
Okay.
by 5, so hopefully I can get 3 to swing my way. I guess is the goal going into week 16.
Yeah.
But
Turn the tides a bit.
yeah, trying to turn it around. But all right, that takes us to our closing segment, something that's becoming quite a good staple of the BB-Scho, and that is who he played for. The segment where we try to guess players based on their career paths. And I can kick us off if you want.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, I'm
right.
ready to hear it.
So we do have rules regarding when we do this with basketball, we don't have to say what position they are, but for football, we have to give the side of the ball. And I will clarify, he is a defender.
Great.
Okay, so I won't start with the years, but if you struggle, I will give them to you. So this guy was drafted by Minnesota, spent a very extensive amount of time there, and had most of his success there. He then went to Indianapolis for
It's
2
Xavier
seasons.
Rhodes.
Unbelievable, dude. This is why I don't preface things like, "Oh, he was best known for his time in Minnesota and all this crap." I need to
It's
stop.
crazy, but yeah, that almost helps, man. Once I got that lead, and I'm like, oh, a big signing from the Colts, or from the Vikings. Yeah, wasn't Stephon Gilmore.
So stupid, bro. So stupid.
No, this was a good try. It was a good try.
Oh, I'll
And
get you.
I
No, I'm gonna get you with the next 2. So don't you
okay,
worry.
okay. This guy played for 3 teams in his career. He's on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
Spent 4 seasons in Miami. Then he had 5 seasons in Jacksonville.
Wow.
And then 4 seasons in Kansas City, where he currently resides.
Wow. He's been around a long time.
Yeah.
An offensive player.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. So he plays for Kansas City. It's not Juju Smith Schuster. It's not Edward Slater. It's not McKinnon. It's not Travis Kelsey. It's not Patrick Mahomes. It's not. It's not Kadarius Toney. It's not Marcos Valdez Scantling. So he played for Miami. Then
For
he
4
played,
seasons,
yeah,
then Jacksonville for 5,
Miami
and
and
then
Jacksonville. What year was he drafted?
2008.
2008. Is it a lineman?
He's not a lineman.
He's
Kind of
not a
hoping.
lineman.
It's kind of open. You'd start guessing those.
You were hoping I would start guessing those. I
Yeah,
don't know how many
that's
linemen I can name in Kansas City right now. They've
that's
had
fair, but that'd be a typical lineman career.
that's why I
That's
was
how I was like hoping you start shooting.
yeah.
But he is not a lineman.
So okay, 2008 Miami. You know what's crazy is I don't know the Chiefs backup quarterback right now, and that's a problem because I think that's what it is.
Mm, mm.
Um, Miami and Jacksonville, man. What year did he start in Jacksonville?
2012. He was pre Blake Bortles.
Re Blake.
That was the last
Gosh.
time he was considered a full-time starter at any point, I may add.
Oh, so it is a backup quarterback, and
He
he's
only
holding a
started.
clipboard for Andy Reid.
Could be a tight
Oh,
end too. Could
yeah.
be a tight end or a receiver, some maybe I don't know, not receiver that old.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe.
neither do I, man. I'm gonna have to give because I'm really convinced it's a backup quarterback, and if it's not, I'll be very impressed. But I'm thinking of that Kansas City
Mm.
receiving
Are you
room, and
familiar with the name Chad Henne?
I actually was gonna say Chad Henne, but I thought he was out of the league centuries ago.
No, I think it was either last year or the year prior. He got like playoff minutes. Like Mahomes got knocked out, and he had like a 4th-and-1 like
So
run. Like
when you said 2012, when you said pre Blake Bortles Jacksonville, I was like, dude, the only guy I can think of is Chad Henne, and I think he was like 2005. Like I was way
yeah,
off.
yeah. He seems like he's older than he is, but he is 37. I mean, he's old, but
that is a good
yeah,
one. That's a good one.
2005.
The clipboard holders,
Yeah,
they'll get you, man. They will get
they'll
you.
get you. Yeah.
All right, this guy. We're moving forward. This guy, an offensive player, but that you're not getting years, and I'm going to rip through this as fast as I possibly can to make it hard on you because I don't trust you. All right, this guy started his career with Dallas. He then signed with Buffalo, and
Wait, do we
then
know the side of the ball?
offense.
Okay. Okay.
Started his career with Dallas, signed with Buffalo, then he signed with Tampa Bay, and then has since signed with Buffalo and now plays on their team.
And he started with the Cowboys. Hey.
Yes.
Oh, you tried to sneak it by me because you retired. Cole Beasley. He came
Ah,
out of retirement like this week. Wow, you're
yeah.
lucky I had some time to check my phone. That would have stuck by me. That
Oh
would have.
man. And I was trying
Because
not to say he retired and then came back. just
oh yeah, that would have gave it away.
yeah.
Because I was really thinking like, current players. But like he's a current player.
Oh, as of
Wow.
like Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
very,
forgot about
very
the
interesting one.
Cole Beasley in Dallas. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, like very
He was there for 5, 6 seasons.
six
12 through
seasons.
18, 7 seasons.
See,
One, two,
and he never
three,
seemed that
four, five,
old.
6, 7. Oh yeah, he's an old. He's old. He's 33.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is oh man, this is a good one.
Yeah, of
This is a
course
good
it
one.
is. Of course it is.
I will preface that he was a first round pick. All
First
right.
round
He
pick. Okay.
he was in 2014. He was picked by the Lions. So that
That's
already,
that
kind of
that doesn't help me at
diminishes
all.
some of that first round pick clout, no doubt. So he's with the Lions from 2014, 15. In 2016, he was traded from the Lions to the Patriots.
Do
Then
we
he
have
was with
offense or defense?
defense.
Okay.
And then he was with the Patriots through 2019. And then he was with the Dolphins in 2020, the Patriots last year, and now is currently with the Chargers.
Is this oh man. Oh man, what's that guy's name? He didn't he t- did he oh man. It's not JC Jackson. Is that his name? The guy
That's a
the guy who tore his ACL this year for the Chargers.
um yeah, it's I will say it's not him.
It's not
He's
him.
not the player
Okay.
I picked.
Okay. Oh man, the Lions is not going to help me. The Patriots for a long time, and
Then
then who?
Dolphins and
The
Patriots
Dolphins,
again.
Dolphins and Patriots again, and he's currently on the Chargers, so it can't be
He's been on a couple
McCourty.
1-year deals as of late.
Darrell Revis retired. He also never played for Detroit. Oh man, man, oh man. Hmm. Plays for the Chargers.
Yeah,
They grabbed like 3 Patriots defenders this year too in free agency. That's what's annoying me.
they did. They did.
Uh
Last hint,
Horn,
he's part of their front seven.
part of their front seven. Okay, so I'm thinking secondary.
He's
Front
not in the
seven.
secondary.
Chargers front seven. Khalil Mack, Bosa. Second, their front seven's not very good, so I don't know many players. Oh man, you're gonna get me again. I gotta give.
It is Kyle Van Noy.
I literally thought of that, and I was like, "Oh no, he never played for Miami." I literally said that. Can I just start guessing people? I think of Chad Henne. Nah, it's not him. Think of Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah.
That's not him. Now I can't take credit for it. I sound like I'm making it up. I swear I'm not.
Nah, it's all good, man.
Kyle Van Noy. I didn't know he played in Miami last year. Or
that
ever.
happens to me like with like the Nick Stauskas thing. Like I didn't know every team, but like there are some teams I was like, okay, I know for sure that's where he was this year, and really no one else was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. All right. So this guy, offensive player. All right. Drafted by the Houston Texans. He's then signed with the Tennessee Titans, and he currently plays for the Carolina Panthers.
Is it Deontay Foreman?
Unfreaking believable, dude. Unfreaking believable. I gotta start. You know, man, I felt so good. I was like, he's probably gonna get Xavier Rhodes, and he might pick up on Cole Beasley. But Deontay Foreman, that's such a like low key name that kind of pops off in fantasy this season. But is he gonna remember that he was on the Texans and a backup to Derrick Henry? No way, right? There's no way. No, he gets it in 5 freaking seconds. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable.
I wish I had a response. I think the only reason maybe because I think he played at Texas, so I was like Houston, Texas, and he clicked in my head for a little bit.
Whatever.
Because that is quite randomly just a backup running back.
It's literally a backup running back. That's what I'm so mad about. I was like, there's no way he's getting a backup running back who's only been on 3 teams. There's no way. It's so ridiculous, man.
One day I'll you've got me a couple times, but wow. Glad I nailed it tonight.
Let's see if I can not go 0 for 3. Come on now.
Okay, let me.
Unless you don't have another guy.
Yeah, this just tweaked out on me. So
you're good. You're good. Technical difficulties. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it went back to Kyle Van Noy, and I'm not about to do that. Okay.
All right.
So this guy is on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're killing me.
but he's younger, so hopefully this helps. Um, yeah, at least it should. He was with the Commanders, who weren't the Commanders at the time. He got drafted there in 2016. Was there in 2017. Then he got traded to the Chiefs and was with the Chiefs from 2018 and 19. And these last 3 seasons, he's been back with the Commanders. Defensive player as well.
Defensive player for the Commanders. I need to start studying defenses more, man. I want to say Kyle Fuller, but I don't think that's right. I don't even think he's with them this year. He played for the Bears, so it can't be him. Can't be Chase Young. Can't be. Yeah, dude, this is a dead mission. Who's on the Commanders' defense, man? So random. Gosh. I love this game, but I hate this game because it's just like you get so mad. Well, actually, you never experienced this part of this game, but you get so mad because
Case Keenum.
You're gonna say the name, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, duh." But this time,
well, you're really gonna get mad this time because you said the back half of the name. It's not Kyle Fuller, it's Kendall Fuller.
Oh, you're kidding me, man. Oh my God.
Oh, no.
That's so ridiculous. And the best part is, like, I would have never guessed.
Give it to him, sort of. Like,
I would have never guessed that too. That's the best part. I was just like, he completely slipped my mind. I was like, Fuller sounds right. Kyle Fuller. No,
you knew a Fuller was there. You did.
Yeah.
I
was like, Fuller. Oh, Kyle Fuller. It's got to be him. No. It's Kendall Fuller. Whatever, dude. That's so
clever play on words.
Yeah, whatever. All right, you know what, guys? If you guys, I had a rough week this week, so if you guys have any suggestions on how to stump Chen, please DM us on Instagram with the most random possible player you can think of who currently plays in the league. Because we need
NBA
or basketball too. Yeah, or basketball too. We need all hands on deck when it comes.
Anybody is welcome.
Played for because we're gonna have to start naming some right guards to get some points here because this is getting atrocious. So you better start studying up on your O lines because it's.
I know the Lucas Patricks of the world. You know, trust we'll be just fine. Guys like Zane Beatles and whatnot.
It's so bad. Okay. As always, be sure to check us out on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And thanks for listening, guys. We'll be back on Sunday for our Week 16 reaction. See how our picks do, and hopefully I can make up some ground this week. And go Jags, right? So have a good one.
T-Law time.
Catch you guys next time.
Take care.